Okay, let's see. So timer is running, and I see an excellent report back from YouTube, so that's a plus. Just waiting for the chat window to load. Okay, chat window has loaded. Let's go to live chat. Okay, let me close this, and let's hit enter in lots of places. Enter. Enter. I'm gonna have to post it to enter. 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 Thrilling. This is such a thrilling beginning to these streams, isn't it? Where I say enter a bunch of times. Isn't that really what everybody's tuning in? Why did that not? Okay. I don't know why that one never enters the first time. Okay, I can close Discord now. Thank you. And let's go ahead and... Oh, I forgot. I remembered. Sorry. I remembered to mute my phone. So that's a plus. Won't have to worry about that. So now the only other thing I have to do is post to the... You know, they're probably... Now I think about it, there are... I'm sure there are actually desktop apps for a couple of these other things, but I really don't loading. I don't enjoy loading things if I don't use them often. I try to keep my computer relatively clean that way. So if it's not something I really use often, convenience is nice, but I'd rather not clutter up my system if I don't have to. So here we go. So let's do a post to that. And okay, clear, clear. Okay, that's fine. Published is good. And we'll go right here and we will post right here. Oh, no, post. There we are. And paste. Fortunately, I have no problem just repeating the same wording everywhere, so that's a plus. Okay, come on, clear out. There we go. All right, we are now every possible place that I can think of that somebody would be able to see this thing. They should now be able to see this thing. So that is done. And now I can put the phone down. Yeah, this is a rare early stream. Oh, let me do the chat check here. So let's say hello, hello chat. There it is. And this is just to make sure these work. Chat. There we go. So I normally don't stream this early, but it happens that I have the day off. 1 second, I'm going to get a sip of something. For Juneteenth, which is, well, actually, today is the actual day, right? I have to admit, I know different things celebrate it in different times, or I think on different days. So is it actually today? Okay, that's what I thought. So it is not actually today, it's on Wednesday, but my employer is doing it on a Monday because they wanted to give people a 3-day weekend. So it is being observed for us on Monday, which I appreciate. It gives you a 3-day weekend. But it's actually, Juneteenth is actually on the 19th. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to do a stream since I got this day off to do a bit of a recognition of that on something that I've been working on for a while, kind of in the background. Hold on, I need to add, give me 2 seconds. Oh, let me, I just need to add a thing so you can actually see what I'm talking about. So let me add this would be would it be, where is, screen capture, here it is. So we'll say this would be in, well, it's technically, preview. So we'll say preview, and we'll say okay. And I need to do, it's not a display capture, it would be an application capture of preview. Here it is. I just have to figure out the sizing on that, so give me a minute. Oh, that's way too big. Yeah, I need to fit this over in the side, just so you can, oh, whoops. No, don't move that, move this. That's one thing that bugs me about, oh, you're probably seeing it, okay. Well, you're seeing it, even though it was meant to be behind all that, but that's okay. It doesn't bother me. This is the image that I'm going to be working off of. That's pretty good right there. Okay. Now let me move it down, because otherwise it's just messing things up. Where is the, move down, move down, move down, and probably right there. All right, let's go ahead and play the opening thing. Reflector's already set up. OBS updated this morning, So they actually, now it retains the what's the word for it? It retained the reflector settings. Okay, so here you go. So I started this a while ago. Actually, okay, I gotta make that a little smaller so it doesn't crop it. There, that's good. There, that's perfect, actually. That's good right there. So I saw this image, I think in New York Magazine, I want to say. I believe this individual is a hairdresser in New York City. And I saw this, I mean, I would have to even look at when I started this image. Does it tell you? Let me see. Let me see. Does it say when it was created? Created. Yeah, there you go. 2021. That's when I started this initially. You can see right there. So I've been working on this in the background for a long time because I just thought this individual had a very striking look. And so I thought, oh, man, this is a, you know, the hair, just the whole look was really, really striking. When I had this idea, the M is kind of a callback to the X-Men, Bishop, who is a, well, I don't think he's mixed, so I think he's black. He's a black character in the comics from the future who comes, this is back in the 90s when this character was introduced, comes to the X-Men in the present, at that time, the 90s, and he has this M on his face because at that point in the comics, where in his timeline, mutants were branded with an M because they were persecuted. So they got this M that was either tattooed or I think in his case it was actually scarred. I think he was branded with it. And it was a way for the Sentinels. There's a lot of X-Men lore, by the way, if you're not into comics, so I apologize, but I'm getting you into X-Men here. In the X-Men comics, the Sentinels are these robots that hunt mutants. And so this was, I don't remember all the details of it. I just remember he came to the present and he had this M on his face. And I always liked the character. He's in the actual new cartoon too, which is great. I said his name, right? Bishop? Yeah. So this was me trying to do something like that where I was taking this person and I was putting the M as a tattoo, this red tattoo on the face. And I just thought this individual has a very striking look. And I was like, oh, this is an interesting, you know, look I want to capture. And so this has been something I've been working on in the background. There was no real hurry to it because it wasn't for anything. But, you know, I figured since it's Juneteenth, why not dive back into this one? Hold on, I'm going to get a sip of my, and I'm looking at it now, and boy, that skin tone is not right. It's not right. It's hard to get these skin tones right. I mean, it's going to be easier now that but I'm pretty sure I sampled his skin, and this is what it did. So I have to play with this a little bit. So give me a second here. Because that does not look right. So let's jump into that first. Let's actually see if we can get that skin tone to be a little bit better. So this is the primary. Yeah. See, it's not quite right. It doesn't look like the image. Now, I'm doing this where on the iPad this takes up the whole thing. So I actually have the image on my monitor so I can compare. So this is gonna be a little tricky, but I want to see if I can maybe dial this in a little bit better. It might be. See, it's tough because you can't. There isn't a one-to-one sample of that color. Not really. I'm gonna have to dial the saturation. Oh, whoa, okay. Hold on. Here we go. Here we go. I think saturation's helping here. So let me use the Apple Pencil, a little bit finer control here, because I would like to get this close to what his actual skin tone is. Okay, I think that looks better. So what did I do there? 52 and a 71. All right, let's apply that same kind of methodology to the rest of it. So it was just a slight increase. Whoops, 52. Ooh, come on, 52. See, it's just this is the angle. The angle's making it tough for me to get this really precise. There we go. And then 71, right? So let's just see. I don't know. That looks better to me. That looks like a more accurate. I mean, it's not going to be. I'm not going to get it exactly right. I can just tell you right now. But that looks, to my eye, and this is one time where I wish that Mr. Pruitt was here because he would be able to critique this better than I can. But I think this is a more accurate skin tone than what I had before. See, and that's. I think when I was messing with this before, I didn't touch the saturation, and this time I am, and I think that's a big help in making this look better. I mean, it's not going to be exact, I know that, but that looks more accurate to me than what I had before. So I'm actually kind of glad that I did this because that looks better to what that image is than what I had before. So that's good. That's good. Okay, good. Well, hey, if nothing else, that's a big plus. So, all right, let's keep going here. So what I want to do is, I may mess with. It's something I don't do. I don't do soft edges, like in shadows. I don't mess with the airbrush very much, but I think I'm going to play with this on this one because I want to see if I can get a nice... And I don't necessarily... I don't mind hard edges in my stuff, but I'm just kind of curious what it would look like if I do a little bit of messing with an airbrush here. So let's go ahead and select an airbrush. Because I don't ever do this, so why not play around and see what it's like. Let me see, how big is that brush? Oh, I have to get the right color too. There we go. Okay, so wow, that brush is a little harsh for me. Let's get the opacity up though. Okay, let's move the brush size down to maybe 5. Let's just see what this looks like. Just trace this out here. Just to see if I just do increasingly kind of bringing it back, just to see how we get here. Something on the screen. Hold on, I can feel something is on the screen. I think I got it. Okay. To do like a soft edge like that, which I don't usually do. I don't usually do soft edges like that, so I'm just gonna do that real easy. Well, I think the problem here is I've moved the side. I've moved it too far for what I like. Let me clear that out. And let's try going in further and then bringing it out. Let's see what we get. Just a little bit of this. I want to bleed that edge out. There we are. Okay. Here we are. It's not too bad. Yeah, I think I could live with that. It's not bad. I mean, I don't do a lot of airbrushing. So I'll admit, this is not something I'm really good at. Let me get that thing off the screen. That's bugging me. Let me just go here. There we go. It's one other thing I don't know why. Okay, well, you can't see it, I don't think. It's OBS puts this thing on the screen where it shows you the pixels of what it's currently looking at, and it always bugs me. There's no way to really, at least I have not figured out a way to make that really invisible. That's interesting. I don't know. I don't know if I really like that or not. I don't know if the airbrush is really working for me. Because I like my harsh lines. I like harsh edges on my stuff. You know, and I don't know if that's really all that much better than that. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm kind of going back and forth on a little bit. I do need to make a lighter thing because you can see in the picture there's that light part on the back of the neck where the light, reflects. But I don't know. I'm going to leave that off for now. But let's go ahead and let me see how many layers I've got on this guy. I have 8 left. Yeah, this is a big image. I know that. So I have to do the gold for the... or did I do silver? No, I didn't because there's no color there. It's silver in there. You know what? I will stick with silver. I don't really like gold as a color anyway. So you can see I was playing around with the line, but I'm going to redo that because this was... I think this is before I was messing with my taper pen. And so, let me see here. Let me turn that layer off for a minute. There it is. So let me see here what this looks like. Let me just get an idea though. Oh, sorry. Let's do a new layer. Let's just see. Yeah, see, I should just use that. So let's go to a 2 on there. And this we can just fill in because that there doesn't need... Oh, come on. Really? Get out of there. We don't really need tapering for this. Maybe I did. Maybe that was the tape. Was that the taper brush? Maybe it was. I don't know. It doesn't... No, you know what? It does. It looks like it is. Yeah, it is. Okay, never mind. So I did the taper brush. I thought that was before I started messing with that. So, okay. So we don't need this. I did that. Okay, good. So I've already got that there. All right. So what I do want to do... Actually, you know what? Maybe that's the way to do it. Maybe that's how I soften the edges on this thing. You know what? I got to get myself some more layers. So let me take a look at layers here. That's the pencil layer. So is that. Oh yeah, that was where you can see I was messing with different, there were different shapes at different times involved in this thing. What is this? Well, what is this? Oh, that's that. Okay, what is this? Oh, that's the outline. Okay. Just seeing. So these are all sketches up here. So let me just group that into sketch layer. All right. No, not that one. No, no, no. You need to be down here. So this is the sketch layer. There, got that. Okay. So let's see. That's that. It's face lines. See, like these really don't need to be separated. Those could be together because they're not actually interacting, which means if I had to alter something, I could. Yeah, the eyes, I gotta figure out. See, there's a little bit of color in the eyes. I don't know if you can really see that on the screen, but let's go ahead and zoom in. See that? No, can I just move it? I guess you can't just move it. But see, there's some brown in there. So, and I also just realized now that I made the mustache way too big, or way too far out for what is actually there. It stops right here, and you can see in my image it goes further. So I need to fix that as well. Yeah, that's got to get fixed. So let's do a few things here. First of all, I got to figure out how to get... Oh, you know what? That's where the taper brush can work. That's a good place for the taper brush. Where's the blacks? Yeah. Hey, I see the underneath of everything. So... let's do this. So that's the one. All right, so we're going to make a new thing. It's a very dark brown color from what I can tell. So let's go ahead and let's do a darker. Actually, we could probably just use this color and darken it a bit. But let's go to the eyes. That new layer I just made. Let me get that taper brush. And let's see here. I'm not going to worry. I'm going to do this in a very specific way. So I'm going to just do like this. Because I'm gonna put a black center to this so that this isn't a big deal. So basically, I'm just doing this to give the eye some. I mean, I'm imagining where the center is, but okay. Well, that I'm not doing curved lines. This is not meant to be curved. So let me do this. And this stream will probably be maybe a little under an hour or about an hour, just as a FYI. Not that anybody's here, but if anybody is going to watch this later, just so you have, well, you'd know from the video link. Right, okay, so that looks terrible because I don't have the, I'm going to put a, you know, the, what is that part? Is that the pupil in the center? Is that the pupil? I think it is. I got to put the pupil in there. Yeah, it is, pupil. So that will make that look better. Right now, that does not look good. That's okay. Sip of water, sip of something, hold on. Ah, there we go. Okay. But for now, that'll work. And I don't think it looks... I don't think... Once the center point is in there, it'll look better. It looks a little weird now because, you know, it makes it look like he's got a weird eye of some kind, which he doesn't. So we will fix that. So right now I'm just filling in small holes here. Okay. There we go. Perfect. Okay. There's one curved one spot. You know what? That's gonna bug me. That's gonna bug me. I gotta fix that. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Oh, wrong eraser. I just want to get rid of that curved one. That's the only one that's really curved that I don't like. Okay, I can fix, and that's easy to just repair. Okay, come on. You don't want it to be curved, so stop curving it. There we go. There we are. Okay. All right, now I'm now going to do a new layer. Go to black. Let's go to our solid. Actually, let's use this. Right? And we will make a circle here. Right? And we will go ahead and do that. Now what I'm going to do is turn off the black layer. So see, now I can see the eye as it is. So I can center this in that circle. There we are. Okay, we'll turn the black on. And it looks like I need to get a little more color in here. So let's jump that taper brush just to fill that hole in. Like that. And any place I see something like that, I'm just going to fill that in. Okay, now back to the black circle. Let's jump back to here. Let's grab this again. And let's just fill that in so that we have our pupil. All right. Oh, wait a minute. That's not true black. Ah, I can't stand when it does that. You can't really... I don't know if it's showing up. Oh, yeah, you can see it on the screen. I can't stand that it doesn't just zero these things out. Oh, no. Why do I keep drifting? There we go. Okay. There's true black. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I mean, I could also just do this. That would work too. But I'd prefer to just not have to do that because it's very hard to see that. If I hadn't zoomed in, I might not even have noticed it. So I'd rather not have to do that every time. So you see now, that looks a lot better. Now it's still too bright. You can see in that image. I mean, I could leave it. I could really go crazy and I could, oh, did I not? Oh yeah, no, I know it is. If I were to select that layer, I could actually do all kinds of things. I could, you know, give them different colored eyes, all kinds of stuff. But for now, I'm just going to knock that brightness down, pull the saturation down a bit, and that looks closer. Hold on, let me get over here so you can see. Closer to what the eye actually is. Now, it's not, again, 1-to-1 is tough because I think I would really have to pull the saturation down a lot to really get it close. There we go, like that. And that's closer, right? And so now what I'm going to do, but that looks a lot better to me than that, with just a completely black eye. Because that's not, you know, how normal human beings' eyes look. So now we're going to move this over. And we'll try to put that in the center of this, more or less. Well, actually, I think I had it pretty good. Maybe like that. Well, actually, I'll tell you how I know. Duplicate this. Let's bring this over. And let's see if we can place that in the center of the eye. There we go. And then, based on that placement, we'll know, yeah, this is a little off. So let's grab this. And let's get that placed properly. Okay, you know what? Hold on a minute. Now, I gotta fill this in. Where did... Oh, I erased the wrong one. Hold on. Erase that one. Okay, come back to here. Let's jump back in this thing. Let's fill this all the way in because it's just cleaner. So, and I think I missed a little spot right there. Got it. All right, now. Also, just to make this easier. Oh, yeah, that's right. I changed the reds. Oh, right, because there's shadow involved. Of course. I'm like, wait a minute. Why are there two of them? That's why. Because I put shadow in there, which makes sense. There should be shadow. All right, so let's just erase all the reds out of the eye. Okay, I can use a bigger brush for this. Let's turn off the eye colors for a minute. Or, you know, not even really eye color, but the eye coloration. Yeah, I guess that is true. All right, let's go back to here. Okay, I can see a lot of this is just going to be this because I'm already, what, 23 minutes in. That's okay. I don't mind. Yeah, I don't like the airbrush. Get rid of that. That's the executive decision. I know I don't like it. It's just not my style. It's fine to play around. You know, take a look. I might have loved it. I might have loved it. Honestly, I might have looked at that and said, yeah, it's really great. But I just, it's not something, I don't particularly, oops, sorry. Oh, okay. I'm going to get it wrong. Get rid of a lot of this. I just know it's not really something I do. So, airbrushing is one of those things. Look, I have a lot of admiration for people who can do airbrushing because I'm aware I can't do it. But it's not really my thing. What is that? What is that little, is that a little piece of the red? Yeah, I missed a little piece of the red. There we go. So, I don't... Fun to look at. Wow, there's just a lot of this to erase. Okay. But I'm not an airbrush person. I think the last time I used a physical airbrush, I want to say when I was in college, a couple times. I think because that was the assignment. And I did not find it to be a pleasant experience. It can be, like I said, in the hands of somebody who knows what they're doing, it's amazing. It can be really, really impressive what people can do with it. I just know I'm not one of those people. All right, so let's go ahead and now we'll do the black. Let's see what I'm trying to do right now. Oh, I went to the wrong layer. So I just want to center the black inside the eye. Which, come on. Yeah, it's a little tough because I don't think the back of the eye is there. But that looks pretty centered. So let's go ahead and replicate that. Move that over. We'll center it here. That's pretty good. I have to eyeball it, but that looks pretty good. Okay, yeah, I think that's pretty centered. So now let's pop this back in. Okay. Oh, I can. And then let's take a look at that. So if we go, yeah, see, that's now completely off. That needs to be more like that. So I need to fill in some of this with just a normal brush. We don't do anything special here. We just do fill in there, just to make sure that the eye part is there. Okay, so that's fine. So now we replicate this, and now we move it over to here, and we do the same thing. Just center it out, which is probably like, I don't know, about that maybe. Let's just see. Okay, yep. And then I just need to erase the edges that bleed off because this eye is differently shaped. So I don't think that's going over that. Let's see really quick. No, we're fine there. Okay. So now we have eyes that look more human. So that's good. And like I said, I can play around with that, and I can make them different colors. I can do different things, and I may do that for the end, but, you know, I wanted to get this where it was. Taking a sip here. Hold on. Important to stay hydrated. Now, let's fix... Well, number one, I need to get the... in the background here. This is a CMYK image. I'm next to positive. Color profile is, yeah, it's a CMYK. Okay, that's what I thought. So what I need to do is get what CMYK for silver is. CMYK for silver. Oh, it's cocoa. Okay. Well, that's easy enough. So let's create a color layer above the red. And we will say C0, C0, C0. Okay, I completely screwed that up. C0, C0, C0. Enter. That is CMYK for silver. CMYK, in case you don't know, just as an informative thing, is cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, which is the colors that you would want for... Whoops. Oh, no. Oh, it's okay. I remember it. Is what you would want for printable things, especially because I'm planning to put this on a shirt. So that's what you would use for it. That's the colors that are generally understood and used by printers, and that's what you would often, if you were sending something to a printer, ideally you would send it in CMYK. RGB, which is the most common thing most people will run into, is more for like the web, for screens only, that type of thing. You wouldn't use, you can use RGB for printing, but you generally wouldn't. You generally would use CMYK if you want accurate color reproduction. Like I said, most places, that's what they're going to ask for. If you were to submit it, you would want to do it in CMYK. And so that's why I was looking up what CMYK for silver is, so that I can get that color correct for, like I said, I want to have this on a shirt. So I want to make sure that the colors are going to work for, I want the shirt to look as close to this image that you're seeing as possible. And that's where CMYK comes in. So that's why I want to look up the color code for silver. Unfortunately, there are, because we live in an age where you can look this stuff up so easily, there is a whole web page that has CMYK colors, which is great. Oh, let me zoom this out. Zoom out. There we go. I mean, I can't possibly recreate this actual color, but, you know. Sorry. Should have said I'm taking a sip of something. Okay. But, you know, this is close, relatively. So we'll just fill this in. Yeah, I have been working on and off on this image for quite a while because I really want it to look the way I want it to look, which is tricky. And at the same time, you know, it's one of these things where my idea for it, it's always tough to translate things from your head into what you want them to be. There we go. Sorry, channel window was hidden. But this one in particular, like I said, I just, okay, I gotta create another layer. I'll make it underneath that one. because I just found this individual so striking when I saw the image. It was just such a, it's like, okay, yeah, this is what a modern young Bishop in the X-Men would kind of, to me, would look like. Would be this type of character. This would be the look, and that's what I wanted to make it was. You know, okay, well, if Bishop hadn't come around in the '90s, because if you look up Bishop X-Men first appearance, he looks very '90s. He's very reflective of the time. And that's where I, you know, so, and his look has changed over the years as, you know, fashion things have changed. So has he in terms of how he looks. But his initial look is a very, very specific. He kind of, there was an actor that I felt like they were trying to, wait a minute, that doesn't look right. What did I do there? Oh, I see what I did. I tried to, that doesn't look right at all. That joint there doesn't look right. Okay. No, we have to fix that. That's not right at all. That makes no physical sense. Not that everything has to make physical sense, but it shouldn't look ridiculous. Yeah, this. Okay. Oh, whoa, whoa. Jeez, it's that big? All right. That's what this should look like. There we go. That looks better. That I can believe is how physics should work. So there we go. Okay. Yeah, there wasn't. I don't remember the actor, but I feel like whoever. I think Will Portacio. I don't know if I ever pronounced his name correctly. That artist, who illustrated that particular issue, was doing X-Men for a while. Has a really, really interesting style. I like his style a lot, but I'm sure I'm destroying his name, which I don't think I've ever heard it pronounced. So I'm trying to do it as phonetically as possible. But he was doing the X-Men, and I feel like and I can't remember the actor's name, of course, now, because, my memory is not great to begin with, and this is back in the 90s. But there was an actor who had a very distinctive look, and I feel like that's what, I gotta put whites in there. I gotta have a white, I have a white layer. I do have a white layer. I have one. And I feel like that was who he was going for, was this actor. And honestly, I feel like he did a fairly good job of it too. But again, it looked, Bishop when he first appeared very much reflected. Yeah, I thought I was going to say it bleeds in, right? It does. I got to be careful with the edges here. Very much reflected the time as far as his appearance. And that was somewhat of what drove this. Is when I saw this person, I thought, yeah, this is kind of what Bishop would look like if he was reflecting. And I mean, there's a certain irony in that, because in the comics, Bishop is from the future, yet he looks like he fell right out of the 90s. So you're kind of like, well, wait a minute. Wouldn't the future have a... Whoa. I didn't realize I went that far back. Wouldn't the future have kind of a cooler look than this? Yeah, it's one of those things. It's comics. You don't overthink it too much. But it was kind of funny, because I remember even at the time thinking, wait a minute, if he's from the future, shouldn't he look futuristic? But he didn't. It doesn't matter. I don't say that as any type of real criticism. Like I said, the artist doing that comic, I always liked his style a lot. I thought his style was a really good fit for the X-Men in particular. So I'm actually really, I think his oops, wait a minute, I'm on the wrong layer. There we go. His rendering of Bishop has always stuck in my mind. Like I have that first look at Bishop is kind of always going to be stuck in my head as far as what I think the character looks like, because I feel like it was so well done. Is that shadow? What is that? Oh, I see what I did. Okay, it's because I'm so zoomed in. It doesn't look right to me, but it's actually fine. Okay. So yeah, I've always liked the Bishop character, and in particular, I missed the line there. I always liked that particular version of him, that drawing, and so, like I said, my idea was, I want to see if I can do something like that. Obviously not saying I'm anywhere near as good as that X-Men artist. I am not saying that at all. But the idea of, okay, what if I were to modernize, if Bishop were to come back and was reflecting the current... Oh, I didn't finish these? No, I sure didn't. As you can see, I did not finish... Oh, boy, I gotta do those. Okay. I didn't realize... Wait a minute. Yeah, I didn't finish them. Okay, no problem. Let's see. This is supposed to be zeroed out. Why is it not saving that zeroing out? Oh, whatever. Okay, got it. Man, really small. I gotta make a really small thing to do this. Actually, maybe that was it. Yeah, I went to, what, 2 or 1? Where did I go to? 2? No, 2 looks too small. It must have been 3. Does that look right to you? Yeah, I guess it does. Okay. Wait, does it? No, that actually looks small. No way, I wouldn't have done 5. Maybe 4. 5's too big. Okay, 4 looks right. All right. Well, let me finish these. Why is there a big... Oh, that's the background. Oh, wait, I forgot. Sorry. I've got this at the wrong... it doesn't matter for this. This is a vertical image. I was going to say, I normally have the iPad horizontal now, but I didn't in that particular... I haven't been for this image, for this stream, but you know what? It's fine. So yeah, when I saw this picture of this person, I was like, oh, this is... I immediately thought this is what Bishop would look like now. A modern Bishop would kind of look like this person. And so, yeah. So yeah, as you saw, I started this now 3 years ago almost. And I've just been, it's one of these things where it's always in the background. I come back to it here and there. And, you know, in the time lapse, I'm sure you'll see all the modifications because I was messing around with things. I didn't have things quite the way I wanted them for a while. And that's pretty typical when it's not something... And I actually like, I will admit, I think it's good to have background images like this, ones that just simmer for a while, because then when you need a break from something else, you come back to this, and this is one of those images. And I have a couple. I found another one this morning, too, that was originally what I was going to do this stream on. Probably I'll do the next stream on this, on that one after I finish this. But there are images where if I need a break from something else and I want to come back, and especially because I don't look at them often, I get a fresh kind of viewpoint on them. I'm taking a sip of something, so 1 second, please. So it's good to have images, for me anyway, like this, where because there's no urgency to it, it lets me look at it a little differently. And I think it's good to be able to look at something in a leisurely way and not worry about it with any type of urgency. You know, I don't know why these... Oh, because I know why. Because I copy-pasted the rings. It's like, why do they seem softer up close? It's because I made one ring and then I multiplied it a bunch of times. So one of these rings is probably very crisp. It might be the first one. Yeah, see how crisp that first one is compared to the other ones? Because I kept changing them. Because it was just to draw all these and trying to make them all the same would have taken forever. So sometimes you do things that give you a little bit of breathing room on it. So that's what I did with those. I just replicated them over and over. Or duplicated them, I guess is probably the better term. And on this one, let's go. No, it was supposed to be... Huh. Yeah, you know, I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'm not going to overthink this image. This is supposed to be fun. So I'm not going to worry about it too much, but I will do this, and then I will shade this side in. Oh boy, but that ring looks so soft to me. I don't know if I can live with that. So I will probably end up redoing these. Not redoing them totally, sorry, I just hiccuped, but luckily it did make a noise, so that was not too bad. That's the thing with drinking a shake, is you can hiccup a lot. But I will probably redraw some of these rings because they're just so soft looking to me, even though you would not see them. I mean, zoomed out at normal size, you really can't see it. This is one of those things where I think I'm just getting hung up on it and I really shouldn't. So I may rethink that. I'm not going to do it now. Okay, so I also did, let me see, so I should go in and do a little bit of something like that. Or not that, but like that. That, and that, and that. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to do that one, do that. Just kind of alternate that a bit. No, that doesn't line up. Boop, boop. Okay. Right. Okay. And that one's fine. So now we have the rings done. Okay, that's good. Bear with me 1 second. I heard the mailbox go, so I was just making sure they didn't drop any packages. Usually they will ring if they do, and they did not, which is good, just because I don't like to have packages just sitting out there, even though we've never had one stolen that I'm aware of. There's a first time for everything. The other day, I had a reusable Starbucks cup, you know, one of the ones where you bring it in and you reuse it so you don't have to use their paper ones, you know, environmental stuff, which I'm fine with. And this was one of these days. What I do on Saturdays is generally, well, not always on Saturdays, but on weekends often, I go down, I just walk down because there's a Starbucks in a nice little area within walking distance of our house, and so I will walk down there and I will draw for about an hour. It's just nice because, you know, just sitting there and it's not out in the nice air and just get to kind of draw stuff, and lets me work on ideas and everything else. And it's just, you know, nice thing I like to do on the weekend, one day on the weekend. And usually there's a little spot I normally sit at. It's not, you know, doesn't have my name on it or anything like that, but that's just typically where I end up. And so I'll normally park right nearby, or if I'm walking, I will put my cup down and, you know, get set up and everything. And I did that, and I realized I'd forgotten to grab a couple of napkins. Hold on, I'm getting a sip of something, so hold on a minute. I'm gonna actually mute because I'm kind of towards the bottom and I don't want you to hear that slurping sound. It's terrible in the ear, so I'm gonna mute for a second. Not quite as far down as I thought, so no slurping on that one. So anyway, I put my coffee down in my cup, and I went back to the Starbucks to just grab a couple of napkins. Because if you've ever gone to a public place, especially if there's furniture, occasionally people are not the cleanest and they will spill something or leave, in this case, what I'm pretty sure was coffee residue, which can get sticky if you have syrup and stuff in it. And a couple times I've sat there and forgot to wipe it off, and my arms will stick to it, which, you know, I'm not necessarily a germaphobe, but it's not a fun sensation to feel your arm sticking to something, you know, even if it is just coffee. Not the best thing. So I was like, oh, I forgot. Let me go back. Let me grab. And I've left my cup there because literally the Starbucks, the actual location is right around the corner from where I sit. So I'm telling you, I was out of sight of that cup for maybe 60 seconds, maybe. And in that 60 seconds, I happened to see, and I only noticed because this kid flew by, but I saw a kid flying by on a bike from around that corner. And I didn't think anything of it, honestly, because like I said, I've left that cup sitting there and gotten napkins a couple of times, and I've never had a problem. I've left it for several minutes and never had a problem. So I never really even thought about it. And I come back around the corner and the coffee's gone. So I have to think, just because there was nobody else that could have done it that I could have seen, because I have a pretty good visibility on that area. The fact that kid went whipping by, I don't have evidence that would stand up in a courtroom of any kind, but I am pretty sure that kid grabbed my coffee. So where was I going with that? Oh, so that's what I mean about, you know, just because you never have something happen or whatever doesn't mean it can't. And I went back and got another coffee. It was, you know, listen, it was not a big deal. I'll tell you what, I would never leave my iPad sitting there for more than a minute. I shouldn't say that. I would never leave my iPad sitting unattended anywhere, because that's something I would expect somebody to grab. But I don't know, coffee, it was fine. You know, I didn't get all upset or bent out of shape about it. It's a minor thing. Certainly it was an annoyance, so I had to order another coffee. And, you know, I basically said, yeah, somebody grabbed my coffee, and the people in there, they're very nice. And I go, oh, sorry. And I'm like, why are you sorry? You didn't do it. It's not your fault. I don't expect people to apologize if they didn't have something to do with something that happened. I mean, it's very nice of them, but so they made me another one. It was fine. But now I have to get a new reusable cup. So I will probably look around. I know people make really neat kind of creative versions of those cups. I had Starbucks does a thing where they have the red cup or whatever it is. They have a day where they give out these red cups, which I really like because I like the color red. So I had one of these red cups. They can do it at the holidays. I'm pretty sure it's like a Christmas thing. And so they had these red cups, and so I had one of those, and I really liked it. I used it all year. I don't care that it's a holiday cup. What difference does it make to me? What it's for. It's still a usable cup, because I know people, oh, we're using it. I couldn't use a holiday cup. It's not the holidays. Okay, well, I don't have that hang up, so it doesn't matter to me. So yes, it has, Christmas trees and Santa or whatever on it. So what? But so I probably won't wait for that to happen again, because like I said, that's end of the year. So I'll probably look around on maybe Etsy or something, because I'm sure people make those reusable type cups. I'm sure there's a ton of different ones. But I want to get one because, I don't mind reusing a cup. It's perfectly fine. It does cut down a little bit on waste, and especially it's so low effort of something to do that why not just do it, But yeah, that's what I mean about, I don't leave stuff on. If I see a package is coming or whatever, I try to grab it right away, because even though we've never had that problem, I know what happens. Somebody walks by and they happen to see an Amazon or a mail piece that's just sitting there and it looks like a box and it doesn't look like junk mail, which is most of what my mail is these days. We don't get a lot of stuff that isn't junk mail in the mail, except for cards occasionally. And even that's cut down, which I'm fine with. I don't need people sending me cards. I don't need stuff like that. All right, now this is certainly going to be a slurpy sip, so I'm going to pause this. Yeah, that definitely would have been disgusting to have to listen to right up next to the mic. So that time I did it right. So I got to look around. I got to look around and see what there is as far as what do you call it? Reusable cups. I like that. I mean, you get 10 cents off, which is nothing on a Starbucks coffee. But that's not really why I do it. I just do it because I don't mind. It's a little thing. It does hopefully mean that there's one less cup being just thrown into a recycling thing, even though recycling is good, and I do that too. A reusable cup is every bit as useful and a little bit more interesting to look at. Oh, hold on a minute. My phone is ringing. Bear with me a minute. Be right back. Okay. Yeah, that was... Unfortunately, it is... my wife was calling to complain about all the campaign stuff, because in the United States, it's going to be election time, which just means... Remember I was saying that the mail just is filled with junk? Well, there's a perfect example. Just every possible garbagey campaign ad. Oh, it just never ends. Never ends. So yeah, I got to look around for reusable cups, because I like that. I like the idea of reusing a cup. I didn't do it for a long time. At some point I was like, you know what, why not just get a reusable cup and use it, because it is so low effort to do it, and it's not like the paper cups are somehow better. They're not. They're just paper cups. They do occasionally write nice things on them. I wonder about that. I don't know how I understand the corporate mentality of that. It's supposed to foster connection with the customer, that they feel like that, you recognizing them as an individual. But I don't know, those, I'll tell you, I know I couldn't do that job. The amount of work that goes into doing that. And then do I really want to have to pretend that I care about every single person? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure some of them are actually genuine, and I'm sure some of those people enjoy writing that stuff. But man, it's when you're busy and you have a bunch of orders to fill and everything else, do you really want to have to worry about writing a nice message on a cup for somebody when you got 30 things going on and there's a line that, forget it. Forget it. I would have a hard time doing that. But like I said, I wouldn't be able to do that job to begin with. That's why, it really bugs me when I see people who are rude to people who are servers and that type of stuff. These are people who I don't think have a real conception of what that job is like and how much work there is. So I try never to be like that. And I think I do a really good job, to be honest, where no matter how bad a day or whatever's going on, I don't think I ever take that stuff out on people who are in service jobs of any kind, because that's a rough job to do. Because there are just miserable people who really I've seen it, and I can't understand it. So one thing I always tell people is be nice to people that are serving you anything, whether it's food or not, because people are, well, yeah, you gotta be nice to people who serve you food, they might spit in it. Well, it's okay. Yes, but there's also the thing that just be a decent human being to other human beings, because it's often not an easy job. That's one of those things where maybe some of these people who are like that should have to do one day of that job with people like them. And oh boy, do I bet that the tables would turn then really quick. Might be a very, very different type of interaction between those individuals and the service people going forward, because they'd have an understanding of what's involved. It is not easy, and you have to deal with some really, at times, miserable people. So, might be beneficial. Well, we are coming up. Actually, it's a good spot. We're going to be in a good spot, because I'm going to finish off the highlights on this. And then I think it will be time to bring the stream to a close. So, let's just finish off this. A few more left, I think. And then we'll be in good shape on this one. Yeah. Alright, how many left? Oh, just one. Yeah, I thought it was pretty close to being done. So good. This was exactly, basically, and it lines up well because my dog's feeding time is coming up, and she's very, very on top of that. Did I miss anything? I don't think so. So yeah, this is going. Yeah, there is actually a color there. It just looks transparent. This is going well. This is getting where I want it to be, so that's great. So, yeah, the hair color thing will be the next thing. The hair color is not right, and I got to put some of the detail that's in the hair, which is missing right now. But that's okay. That's for another time. For now, we can go ahead and bring this one to a close. So let's do that. And on that note, thank you I saw some people popped in and out. And I tried to do this at a different time because I thought some people might want to stop in. But whenever you're watching it, I appreciate it. It doesn't have to be. You do not have to watch it live. I've said that many times, and I mean it absolutely when I say it. I appreciate people watching this whenever they watch it. Let's click the wrong one. There we go. I want to make sure I didn't accidentally stop the stream. And so thanks for coming by on a bit of an early stream, or if you're seeing this later, at the exact same time that I post every other video in this case, because on YouTube channel, they always post at noon Pacific, so unless I screw something up. So thank you for watching whenever, however you do. I appreciate it. As I always say, try to get a little creativity in your life if you can, whether it's... Oh, hey, Faint Waves! Oh, yeah. So yeah, you caught the end. I just was wrapping up. Sorry, I was trying to do an early one because I know not everybody's in the same time zone. So, yeah, sorry. Although I think in Twitch you can replay this almost instantly after I wrap it up. So I never mentioned that people, if you want to just watch it after the fact, like right after I wrap it up, that's fine too. Yeah, you too. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, this is a rare one. I don't usually do them this early, but like I said, I had this particular. I keep wanting to say splotch what is the word I'm looking for? Block of time that I could do it. So I decided to do it early just in case. Because I have had people who've said, like, when Mr. Pruitt came by the other day, was like, oh, I finally managed to catch a live one, just because I had done that one. I think that one I did later than usual, I think. I could be wrong about that. Anyway, go experience a little creativity in whatever way you can. Go be creative yourself. It's good for you. And I don't think I will probably do the streams on the normal days, meaning Tuesday, Thursday this week, if you're watching live. So I don't think there's going to be any alteration to that. This was just a bit of bonus time I had, so I figured I'd do an early one. And on that note, until I can, let's see, insert boilerplate language here until I can think. I might as well at some point just jettison that, because I don't think I really even need it. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm just going to get rid of that. That was a little gimmick I was running for a while, but I don't know, it was probably never that funny to begin with. So, on that horrific ending note, thank you for coming by and watching, whenever and however you do. Go put a little more creativity in your life if you can. And until the next stream, again, thanks for coming by, and take care.